What's up everyone, I am Lolise and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a follow-up to a influencer that I've already covered a little bit, and that is the wonderful Brittany Dawn. She has been up to a lot of shenanigans, even up to like yesterday. I've actually been working on this for a little bit and then she just keeps tacking more stuff on. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get a notification every time I post. And please don't send anybody that we talk about in this video any hate, negativity, nothing like that. These are just my thoughts and opinions based on what I'm seeing play out on the internet. So if you have something to say about what we are talking about, just shoot it down in the comments below. That's what they are there for. Also, before we get into this, I'm gonna try and put like timestamps or chapters or whatever. I just felt like I wanted to take a little chunk of my video just to kind of give like a small I don't know, like apology or update or whatever. But I've just been gone for a while. I've been absent. I was like working on like a year of review of 2022 and things like that. But life just really got on top of me last month. And even this past week going into the new year, like it was just so much like over and over. Like a close person to me was sick. So I don't really want to go into that. But I did want to be there for constant care for them. And then I have chronic pain issues that have actually caused me to step back from my day job a little bit. I am still working, but just the nature of my work just makes it harder on my body physically. So I'm like, I guess semi-retired from my job, like at least temporarily. So, I mean, that actually means I'll probably have more time to post videos, which I am very excited about. So expect that. I will probably have some other videos that are more like pop culture centered, not just like YouTube drama centered. Because honestly, like YouTube doesn't have that much drama anymore, or like that much drama that I'm really interested in anymore, because some of it's really dark nowadays. Also, like some of the people that I used to talk about, I just felt like I was getting so nitpicky with them. I just didn't want to continue covering them because I felt like I was picking apart every little thing, and that's very obnoxious to me. I kind of made the decision to move and pivot my content a little bit, but I'll still be covering YouTube drama and scams and whatnot, in addition to supplementing pop culture stuff in between. There's that. I also wanted to give an update. I posted on my community tab that my cat Storm was not doing well, and unfortunately, we did have to let Storm go. Storm was experiencing kidney failure, which just, I mean, I don't want to say it came out of nowhere, because honestly, there was probably some kind of underlying issue that she was dealing with that we were not detecting in her regular vet visits. I mean, we take our cats to the vet every 6 months, and with 3 cats, that's like pretty much every 2 months we're taking a cat to the vet. And Storm actually had her regular wellness checkup in December, but it was not an appointment where they did blood work, so they would have maybe seen elevated levels in her blood work at that point, but it's possible they maybe wouldn't have even seen them then. It was really heartbreaking. Storm was a pretty mean cat. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. She was a bitch. Like, I actually have this scar on my... So while she was a very mean cat, I still really loved her, and she softened up a lot. I rescued her when she showed up to my house. It was in 2016, and I literally had abdominal surgery that day, so I was in rough shape and recovery was horrible. And she showed up to our house in a storm meowing. I felt so bad for her. We fed her, and then she pretty much never left our house. When we went and got her checked up at the vet, they even scanned. She had a microchip. I was already calling her Storm because she showed up to our house in a storm, and Storm is my favorite X-Man. Turns out, via microchip, we discovered her name was already Storm, so it was like literally meant to be. Like I said, she was mean, but she definitely warmed up to me over time. When we moved into the home we're in now, I think is when our bond really grew, because she definitely had some like abandonment or separation issues. I think she was afraid that we were just gonna leave her here, so she started clinging to me really quickly, and then we began to sleep together. She would sleep above my head every night. So the past like week has been very difficult because she's not there like purring in my ears or making biscuits on my face. But we did have time with her. We had her in a vet hospital for a while. I would go and visit her and see how she's doing and hold her, but like the entire time she just wasn't improving. You know, physically I could see she was not doing well. She was not responding well, and she wasn't being her rude, aggressive, bitchy self. So it was time. I know she made appearances on my second channel. I feel like she made a couple appearances on this channel. However, It's hard to tell because sometimes like I would edit things and then I would end up editing her out of something, so I can't really remember. She would always hang around me while I was filming too. She loves the area that I film in, and she was always like wanting to hang out with me, get on the table, be in the background, just hang out on my lap. She was actually pretty cuddly. I think she just, when she showed up to us, that anger was just leftover baggage from whatever home she had, you know, previously been in. So yeah, it's been a lot. I've been going through a lot the past, oh my god. I mean, I guess we've all been going through a lot the past couple of years. I'm hoping 2023 will get better, but I don't know, my optimism is pretty low at this point. Anyway, let's get into all of the updates going on with Brittany Dawn. So I made a video previously about Brittany Dawn. I do not remember exactly when I made that, but I will link it. I think it'll go up here. I don't know, I'm kind of backwards. Anyway, so in this video, I covered a couple things that we are going to be revisiting and then building upon. One of the main things was her fitness scam. Brittany Dawn was essentially known as a fitness influencer. Over the course of several years, scammed a lot of people through promises of personalized fitness plans, personalized meal plans that were very customized to people, and in turn, did none of these things, gave no personal coaching, did not live up to the expectations that she had promised. And some people had paid out like $300 or I think even more. She was exposed through a Facebook group that eventually got media attention, and then she released a very terrible apology video and then a video responding to haters right after. This is all in like 2019. And then she thought she could kind of brush that off and, you know, go on her merry way or whatever. She pivoted her influencing style and started to go the Christian influencer route and talk more about things like modesty, having faith in the Lord, and, you know, all the cringy Christian influencer stuff that is extremely judgmental and somewhat problematic and misogynistic. We also have to include Brittany Dawn's husband into this. I was gonna call him Judd, but his name is Jordan. Jordan is a former officer, police officer, who actually had to leave the police force because he was being sued by the ACLU for using extreme brutality against somebody that they were attempting to arrest. And I've watched the video. It is pretty horrific. I don't know what Jordan does now, but it really doesn't matter. And another thing we are going to be revisiting is in 2021, Brittany and Jordan came under a lot of scrutiny because they extended help to a homeless man, which you would think, why would anybody get in trouble for helping a homeless man? Well, first of all, we already know Brittany has a past of allegedly scamming. I have to say allegedly because now that is kind of falling into the arms of the court. Is that even a phrase? I don't know. It is now. And people thought that helping this homeless man was a scam as well. And the reason is because they actually opened a GoFundMe. His name is James. He was homeless. I believe he was dealing with drug addiction as well. And one of their friends, I believe his name is Cruz, saw him and said, we have to help this guy. So they actually made Instagram stories where they were driving around trying to find him. They found him very quickly. They actually got him a hotel room. He said it was a very nice room. His sister does say in a video that we'll talk about too that he said it was a very nice suite and things like that. And this fundraiser that they made for James actually raised $25,000, which that is life-changing for almost anybody. The issue that people were starting to have was, did this money actually go to James? So James was eventually, he did agree to go to a treatment. He went to a faith-based treatment, and this faith-based treatment, it turns out, was free. So people said, all right, if the GoFundMe money isn't paying for his rehab or his treatment, where is the money going to? So those are two of the big things that we want to talk about. Oh, I know there is one more thing I want to talk about. Brittany Dawn started within the past year, like, putting out into the social media universe that she wanted to be a mom and she was going to have a mom. And, well, I think she does have a mom, but she was going to be a mom and she was going to have a kid. You know, it's going to be this amazing life and God was going to bless her with a child. Unfortunately, Brittany's journey through having a baby, I do know this year she did suffer a miscarriage, which is very unfortunate, and I'm not here to make light about that or judge her or anything like that. I know pregnancy is not as easy as people think it is sometimes. It is not an easy road for people to go down, and there's a lot of twists and turns to becoming a parent, and I do wish her all the best in that journey. But what we are going to be talking about is slightly building off of that, because not long after they suffered a miscarriage, Brittany and Jordan, aka Judd, became foster parents, and That low-key seemed like a nightmare on social media as well. So doubling back to the fitness influencer scamming time, Brittany ended her company in 2019. She was actually locked out of her PayPal account. I'm assuming it is due to so many people reporting her as scamming them to PayPal because she had a lot of customers. So over the course of the past few years, apparently the Texas State Attorney General has been building a case against Brittany Dawn. This year, well, not this year, I'm sorry, I forgot it's 2023 now. In 2022, they actually announced and filed paperwork. They didn't just like announce it, they actually did file paperwork. But they were actually suing her for violating Texas Deceptive Trade Practices and violating Consumer Protective Act. That is a mouthful and it was very hard for me to say. So she violated a couple laws, and literally there are laws in Texas against scamming people. Now, I think Brittany Dawn thinks that she might be able to win this, but first of all, like, it's very hard to win a case against like the government. They generally don't prosecute unless they have a ton of evidence. Let's not forget the Texas Attorney General is the one that helped overturn Roe v. Wade on a national level. I'm gonna assume this case is gonna be a lot harder than Brittany thinks. Now, in early September, Brittany actually had a hearing. Now, this hearing was called because the Texas Attorney General said, look, they haven't given us any of the information that we have been asking for, because they're in discovery at this point. They need records of clients, what they paid for, what they got, what the programs were. They need all the paperwork that Brittany Dawn has on this, or the paperwork that Brittany Dawn should have on this, I mean, because Brittany Dawn had literally zero organized paperwork for them. They sent them literally nothing until the very last hour. The Texas Attorney General, who's the Deputy Attorney General, I believe, he stated that Brittany Dawn's legal team sent them something like 50,000 papers or 50,000 PDFs for them to go through at 11 o'clock at night, the day before they were supposed to like show up and have this whole presentation. There is no way that one office can go through this. Now, the issue is Brittany and her team have had several months to do this. This was filed at the beginning of February of last year. And what has Brittany been doing since February of last year? She started a Christian, I guess you would call it a Christian ministry, because like anybody can start those these days. She started a Christian ministry and has had, retreats where she and her husband are baptizing people in bathtubs, which I'm not really sure that they're qualified to do. Posting on social media and trying to manifest a child instead of actually focusing on the fact that she is being sued by the biggest state in the country. And I'm just meaning by like landmass, because Texas is freaking huge. There's a reason the slogan is, you don't mess with Texas. They had, 5, 6, 7 months to get all this paperwork together and sent over. But she didn't have the time to do it. And they also stated that she didn't have access to her PayPal account, so she could not retrieve a lot of the information that she would need. Then why don't you talk to the Attorney General and say she's locked out of her PayPal? You don't have to mention that she's locked out of her PayPal because of this scam. We need to subpoena this information. And now a regular sitting attorney probably doesn't have that jurisdiction, but I feel like the Texas Attorney General probably has a jurisdiction to subpoena PayPal records, or can get a court order to get PayPal records. And Brittany's lawyer said that there was no way they could finish this all in time. It was just too much for just, one person to do. Well, my thought, and this is also what the Attorney General recommended, is you hire a third party. You get a third party to come and comb through everything and get the information you need. They literally made zero effort to do anything for this. Anything. And they had multiple extensions, and Brittany literally did none of the work that she needed to do. I feel bad for her attorney because he can only do so much with what she gives him, and she hasn't been giving him much at all from what it seems. I also found it interesting that Brittany Dawn said nothing through this hearing. She was present. This was all a Zoom call. She did not even respond to the judge when the judge asked if she, needed to be there or if she was there just to observe. She didn't say a thing. Her attorney answered for her, but it was after like a good 20, 30 seconds of silence. Maybe her attorney said, don't speak at all, but you can't even say, I'm just here to observe, Your Honor. Now, this was all on Zoom. The court district that they do, they have all of their videos on YouTube. Now, stupid me, you think I would learn my lesson after doing this for like a year, almost 2 years at this point, but I didn't download the video, or I didn't save the video, and actually Brittany Dawn's court appearance has been removed. There are several creators that use clips and things. I didn't want to go to their videos and steal their clips from their videos. I did reach out to another creator and asked if they did happen to have a download. She just had the screen recordings that she used in her videos, so I just figured I would cut my losses. But every creator that covered this, I would go to their video, I would click on the link that they provided of the court hearing, and it said this video is not available. So unfortunately, for some reason, that video got removed. I'm not sure if it was at the request of Brittany Dawn. I don't know if maybe a gag order has been put in place, but Brittany Dawn has been working to take a lot of things down, which we will get into. You know, I just like to foreshadow to you guys. So yeah, Brittany Dawn's court date went extremely well for Texas and the people they're representing, and not so great for Brittany. It did go good for Brittany in the sense that the judge gave her one more extension. This hearing was in like early September, so she had until the 30th of September to get all of the stuff that she said that she would give them to the state of Texas. Now, I am not sure if they have gotten all of that, if she has gone through with that. There have been, at least not from I can see, any legal updates, but that could also be, if there is a gag order in place, that stuff would not be released until, you know, the court hearing, which this is going to a jury trial. It has been established this is going to jury trial very soon, I believe. So the next thing I kind of wanted to talk about is the fact that, like I mentioned, Brittany and her husband became foster parents just recently, just like in December. They actually began to foster a small baby, which I think fostering is an amazing thing that you can do for a person, not just for the child, but also the parent of the child, because fostering is ideally, it is a temporary thing until the parent or parents are able to get things together and be able to take their child back into their own care. So when Brittany and her husband got this baby, especially Brittany, I don't really know exactly how Mr. Jordan Judd was acting. Brittany was literally acting like this was her child, and she was parading it all over social media like it was a new puppy to her. It was a prop for her to use. She started basing all of her content around being a foster mom. This literally was like 2 to 3 weeks of her life, because the infant has already been taken out of her care. I do not know if the infant has been returned to the mother. I sincerely hope so. So then she goes on this heartbreak journey, but some of the stuff that she was posting while she was in her foster mom era, she was talking about breastfeeding, like foster moms can breastfeed too. Don't stick your boob in somebody else's kid's mouth. Like, let's be real for a second. Do you not understand the biology of how breast milk works? She also would go back to posting fitness content on her Instagram. She's been posting workout videos on her stories and in her reels while she's in an active lawsuit about promoting a fitness scam to people. She is posting fitness videos. Very ballsy. I also would like to just point out that a lot of the workout gear that she wears in her videos is not very modest. I mean, I'm not necessarily like, I'm not the modesty police. However, I know the modesty police would have a really big problem with a skin tight, off the shoulder, crop top, workout top, and these like skin tight yoga pants. So let's just stop pushing the modesty, because she's not a modest person, and that's okay. You don't have to be a modest person, but stop judging other people for not being modest as well. And when you post before and afters of before modesty, after, you're still promoting you're still being immodest by showing those pictures before, and the modest pictures are not really that modest either. But yes, the baby, the infant, is out of her care. Like I said, I hope it is because it is back with the parent. Some people are speculating it's because of how much she was posting the baby on social media, because really, when you're a foster parent, you shouldn't be exposing the child on social media, because that could put that child in immediate danger. They could come and do something or try and take that child. And in fact, a stipulation for a lot of states is you legally can't share the child on social media. I don't know what Texas's state's laws are when it comes to fostering and things like that. However, I feel like Texas is probably pretty lenient in approving foster parents, considering this woman is being sued by the state of Texas, and he is a former cop who was fired for being overly aggressive. Or maybe they're just really hurting for foster parents, and they're like, we're just gonna take what we can get. The kid's only gonna be with them for like 3 weeks. And then the last update I want to give is on James, the homeless man who was dealing with addiction issues that they helped and potentially scammed using a GoFundMe. So this is something that has brought up time and time again when people talk about how bad of a person Brittany is. There are other things that I haven't even talked about in this video. I do reference in my previous one, but there's just not things I'm updating. But James has had the story around this situation rather has had a lot of resurgence recently. I think part of it was on Reddit, a lot of the fostering content that she was posting was really getting under people's skin, and they were very upset with how she was treating the child as a prop, causing them to dig up or revisit other things. The other reason I think this maybe has had a bit of a resurgence is because another case that is somewhat similar to what happened with Brittany and this man and Jordan Judd. I literally just cannot not call him Judd, so it's Jordan Judd. But a woman actually scammed a homeless man through a GoFundMe and kept all the money, and she actually was a city worker, and I think she's going to be serving time in prison. They found her guilty, and she can't hold a public post anymore. She might be spending like 2 or 3 years in prison. So I think that's kind of amped up people as well as like, well, Brittany Dawn also scammed this homeless man, so what's going on here? And she's already involved in an active lawsuit. So what some TikTokers took it upon themselves to do was they found this man, James. They found him on Facebook. It has been over almost 2 years now since they, helped James and whatever. In a messaging conversation, James said that his family only received $6,000. They did press Jordan for a while on it, and then that money was sent to them. That was it. Because initially the issue was, well, we can't give him the money. He's just going to go spend it on drugs. He's going to continue this lifestyle. So Brittany and Jordan Judd did reach out to his family, and they told them, yes, don't give him the money. I believe they are saying that they used this money for paying for the hotel that he stayed in, because they did have him in a hotel for a while, buying him clothes and food and cigarettes and stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I guess that does add up. Cigarettes are not cheap. They are very expensive now. But that was it. He just got the $6,000. That was what was given to him after everything was said and done. Then this person actually had a video call with this guy, and he does look different, but of course, the few times we did see him on Brittany's Instagram stories, which she still has in her highlight section, and he looks different because in those videos, he's an active addiction, so he is very malnourished and underweight. In these videos, he looks more like a normal person. He's got actual fat in his cheeks, and that's really all you can see. I'm not saying he has fat cheeks, I'm just saying he doesn't look so like skeletal in this. But in this video, he seems kind of confused. I'm not saying he's confused in a like he is under the influence or something. More confused as to why this girl is so insistent on finding out what happened with this money that he himself for a while didn't even know it existed. He didn't know they made a GoFundMe for him or anything. So he seemed like perplexed by the whole conversation. And then this culminated into a video that Brittany and Jordan Judd Nelson, maybe that's why I keep wanting to call him Judd, because Judd Nelson, I've been watching a lot of Brat Pack movies recently. You'll see why soon. But they posted a video just yesterday, almost a 40-minute video that was titled, "Final Warning, Leave James Alone and Us Too." The majority of it was actually really just a Zoom call with James's sister. I don't understand why. First of all, I don't really like watching people like in Zoom call talking on screens. Like, I don't know. I'm not into it. I don't like that kind of setup. But also Brittany and Jordan Judd are in the same house. So I don't know why they didn't just sit in the same room together. It was strange. I'm not sure why they weren't together. So they're having this conversation with April, who is James's brother, and honestly, the video is mostly her just ranting about how much Brittany and Jordan Judd helped her brother, how much better he's doing, kind of going through a little bit of a life story synopsis of how her brother had gotten to the point where they met him. Everything is fine with them. I don't really know if they got to the bottom of receipts of how much money was exchanged. But what's interesting in that video is Jordan says they raised $1,200, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was $25,000 that they ended up collecting on the GoFundMe, correct? And it was Jordan's GoFundMe because Brittany can't have a GoFundMe. So, I mean, honestly, the video was just the same thing over and over again. James is fine. They're doing great. They're still in constant contact all the time. They didn't scam them. They were not scammed by Brittany and Jordan Judd, and everybody needs to leave them alone. She does not want James to be talked about, which Yeah, I'm talking about in this video, but I'm just recapping things. I'm not making speculations about anything. But that her family doesn't want any of this. They thank Brittany and Jordan Judd Nelson for helping them, but everybody just needs to move on. They don't want to deal with it anymore. And I mean, you know, what else can you do? I'm not sure what everybody's end game was with this, except for hopefully to help him, but it seems like he's doing fine on his own. I don't know what else to say about the situation because his sister was very irate in a lot of the video. I can understand why people are speculating a lot about her brother on Reddit and other places. She felt like he was kind of tricked into this video, or maybe that was Jordan Judd that said that. I don't think he was tricked because that girl did ask him if it was okay that she filmed, but he just seemed confused the whole time. He was very perplexed about it all. I'm very perplexed about what's going on as well too. I'm not really sure if they got the full amount that they were supposed to, or, you know, what was left over after the care that they gave. But Brittany has also decided to threaten legal action against anybody who is talking about this, or at least like slandering the situation. Her Instagram post said, "We need your help. If you have seen slanderous TikToks, Instagram posts, YouTube videos, gossip forums, etc., please send screenshots, names, etc. to my email. We are actively working on pursuing a slander and libel case on a lot of individuals. Your fake accounts and fake identity isn't as witty as you think it is." And then she has a screenshot of, "Hi you, a few people on TikTok need to be sued. Do it. They are dragging your family's name and James through the dirt. Yes, we know we're actively working on this. If able, please send screenshots to my email, blah, 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 blah." And then she includes her email and says, "You will remain anonymous." Girl, you got enough legal stuff going on right now. Like, I don't think you have time for this. You don't even have time to worry about your lawsuit with the state of Texas. I mean, come on, like she couldn't even put together a Google Doc to send over to them with a list of names. She didn't even have a master list of her clients that she had. You think she's gonna have a master list of this? I would honestly be very surprised, and I don't know, I'd probably be like kind of disappointed too if she actually compiled all of this into some concise thing to give to an attorney, but not for her case where she scammed people. Oh, I didn't mention that the state attorney general said she probably scammed people out of over $1 million with that fitness scam. And to top it off from this Instagram post, just last night I saw this, and this is from another creator who I sometimes watch. Her name is Bethany Michael, and she says, "With all this lovely legal drama Brittany Dawn is creating, she has had one of my shorts taken down for a copyright claim. I wasn't entirely sure that a short could be copyrighted, but here we are." And that is why I have not really shown any like photos from her Instagram. Also because I just don't want to show that baby that she was exploiting on social media, or any clips from any of her videos, because I really just don't want to be copyrighted by Brittany Dawn. And nothing that I'm saying is private information. It is all public based on things that are on the internet. I just find it like so ridiculous that Brittany Dawn is threatening to take legal action against drama channels and drama TikTokers while she is in a major legal battle with the state of Texas. Like, girl, you're going to a jury trial with a state. Anyway, that is it for today's video. I will see you guys in my next video. Don't forget, if you have not already, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out my second channel, which I will be posting on it again. I was gonna do Vlogmas, and then yeah, I did one Vlogmas video, and then all December just totally went to shit, and I got like really bombarded, so I didn't follow up with it, but I will be posting on there soon, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Laters, bye.